I put the timer on for 12 minutes and not 12 hours. These are all the books I have to choose from. This book is ridiculous, but you know what? It is exactly what I needed. All the odds are stacked against me right now, guys. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel if you are new. If you are not new, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina, and we're about to do some reading today. All day. I have yet to do a TBR takedown video this month, and that's not good because you guys know I need to stay on top of my physical TBR. The problem is that, as you know, the reading slump has gotten to me a bit, so picking up a physical book, thinking about it even sends me into agony. So what I've planned on doing today is just doing a 12-hour readathon and seeing how many physical books I can read in just one day. Now I would make this 24 hours, but like that's just not realistic with the way that I'm feeling in my reading. So we're just gonna do a 12-hour one, okay? I feel like if I can just take the time during the day to read as much as I can, then that would be enough without me having to like push myself to read more than I want to. So yeah, welcome to the video. Most of this video is going to be with my bonnet on my head because I did my hair last night and I don't feel like taking it down. So yeah, enjoy this outfit for majority of this vlog. The time is now 7:57. Once it reaches 8 a.m. I will start the timer for 12 hours. Like I said, we're just reading books on my physical TBR today. However, I am going to start off this vlog continuing the audiobook for The Heirs because I'm going to listen to that when I'm downstairs doing the dishes and making my breakfast, because I haven't even made breakfast yet today, guys. I just woke up, so if it looks like I just woke up, that's why. But yeah, I'm gonna continue this audiobook. This is the one written by Frida Ayemide, author of Ace of Spades. Very similar to The Umbrella Academy and the plot of the first season of The Umbrella Academy. I talked about this in my previous vlog if you want to hear like specifics and such. I am currently 57% into it. I have not been reading much of this either. I'm gonna finish it. I don't think it's something I'm really in the mood for. Nothing has really changed since the last time I updated you. I feel like we're now getting into the thick of the plot now that we are in the second half of the book, which I feel a little bit weird about. Like a lot of the first half has just been a bunch of build up to how, like, setting up the dynamic of the siblings and the family and figuring out how the siblings feel about their abusive father dying, and now they're trying to get to the bottom of how he died, who killed him, now at like the 57% mark. So I think that's why it's taken me some time to actually like get into the book, because I feel like the whodunit aspect of it is just now getting started. So maybe I can get through it faster. I don't know. I'm reading it at 2 times speed, so I don't think I'll be adjusting the speed to be any faster than that. I'm also going to be going through my physical TBR. There is one book that I'm currently in the middle of my physical TBR that I will be finishing in this vlog today, which you guys could probably take a guess. But yeah, I'll update you guys on all of that when I am done with the dishes and when I have eaten breakfast, because then I feel like I am more alive after I do my daily morning tasks. Yes, welcome to this vlog. I hope that you guys enjoy. Let's get this 12-hour readathon started, shall we?
A few moments later.
I realized earlier, like the idiot that I am, I put the timer on for 12 minutes and not 12 hours, but I quickly changed it once the 12-minute timer went off, and I was like, what the heck? We're 12 minutes behind schedule, but I fixed the timer. It's fine. This challenge is still going to be done at around 8 o'clock. But I've read a little bit of The Heirs. I ate some breakfast, and while I was eating breakfast, I did pause the timer because I was not reading while I was eating. I don't know how people can do that. I'm unable to multitask, as a lot of you guys know, but especially when it comes to like reading and like doing another action, I can't do both. So I paused the timer while I was eating my breakfast, and I was watching Summer House instead. But I finished my breakfast. I'm ready to log back in. I still have 10 hours and 30 something minutes left. The Heirs is a book that I'm feeling very conflicted about, because I feel like although I like the story itself, I feel like it's just like very simple. Like I feel like the characters have no real depth to them. They all kind of fit into a certain stereotype that I'm not really a big fan of. We're following like 5 kids trying to figure out who murdered their father, or if it was one of them that murdered their father. And they all have their own talents. They all kind of have their own stereotypes of what you would imagine each a sibling would be like in a household of 5 kids. Granted, they're not kids, they're like 17, 18 years old, and they're all around the same age. So when I say like one of them is like younger, older, it's by like a few months. But I feel like there is that dynamic of like the middle child, the eldest child, the youngest child, and so on and so forth. And I feel like all of them kind of fit the qualities of those types of kids to a T, but also because of the stuff that they're good at. Like one of the children is really good at like fencing and athletics, so he sticks to like a specific schedule, a specific daily meal plan. Like he's just very strict in type A. And I feel like just like him, all of these other kids have their own kind of stereotypical way of doing things. I feel like I haven't really gotten to the crux of who each of these kids are for real. I'm slowly starting to figure out how their dad messed them up, but again, I'm like 60-something% into this book by now. I'm over halfway into the book, and I feel like I haven't really gotten that far in depth into how their dad messed them up. There are a lot of questions as to like what happened in the years between like one of the kids leaving the house to go to private school and the present timeline. They keep on making glimpses back into their childhood, like different flashbacks, and something in between the gap of when the middle child, Octavius, leaving private school affected their home to now in present time when all the 5 kids are back under one roof. They're leaving that time kind of blank. Interested to saying like where the story goes, but I'm not gonna lie, like it is a little disappointing in terms of like character details, because I was expecting more from the characters, but they're kind of getting a little two-dimensional to me, just a little bit. Even the side characters, like I'm not really invested in any of them for real. I have, again, questions, but I don't think I'm going to be getting my answers until probably like right before the book ends. Probably not going to be picking that audio up anytime soon for the rest of the day, at least like not until I have something to do that requires me to have my earbuds in. On to more important matters, physical TBR. I know that you guys are going to be sick of me as soon as you see this book that I'm about to pull out. I'm almost done with it, so I'm gonna finish it out in this vlog, and then we can get to the nitty-gritty of like my actual physical TBR, okay? Vampire Lestat. I'm literally in the middle of the epilogue right now, okay? So like, don't come for me, please. I know this has been in every single video for the past month. Respect and acknowledge the fact that I am in a reading slump and that I have been reading the same like 3 books for the past 3 weeks. Please respect it and understand. But like I said, I'm almost done with it, so I am planning on finishing this out. The epilogue is kind of weird though, because I think it's like split up into like 3 different parts. I think I have like 40 pages left of the epilogue, but either way, it is gonna get done today because I'm tired of talking about this book to you guys too. I really am. Even though I have enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, I need to move on from this. So we're going to finish this out today, and then we can pick something else from my shelf behind me of what to read next, okay? Because got a lot of options. Got too many options if we're being honest. So I'm gonna lock in with this, and then I'm gonna finally give you guys like my final thoughts on this book, if you guys even care anymore at this point. Like, I wouldn't even blame you if you didn't. I also have to do laundry. I'm gonna like be doing little tasks throughout the day, but I will be locked in on my reading. Probably talk to you guys when I'm officially done with this book. Alright guys, I have finally finished The Vampire Lestat by Anne Rice, and to sum up the gist of this book, it's basically Lestat, the Vampire Lestat, fucking around and finding out for a good 400 to 500 pages. And you know, reading a book like that where a character is constantly getting told to do something and they just like disregard it time and time again and pay the consequences and not learning it time and time again could get annoying after a while. But I don't know, just something about Lestat as a character. It might just be because like I adore his character in the television show, and like my love for the character translates to the book version of him because they're kind of one and the same. So like maybe I'm just very biased here, but I was not frustrated at all throughout reading this book. I was actually thoroughly entertained. I think that the reason why I love this book so much, and I've explained this in previous vlogs, but Lestat is just like such a more, I feel like, well-rounded character than Louis was while reading Interview with the Vampire, the book. Not the show version of Louis. The show version of Louis is peak. The book version of Louis, though, I just couldn't stand him. I felt like he was just so whiny and annoying. The story of Interview with the Vampire is decent enough, I can give it that, but like having to read in Louis' point of view was just nauseating. I couldn't do it. Lestat is a very funny character. So like even though you read about like a lot of his past experiences, a lot of his deepest regrets, a lot of the traumatic events that he goes through throughout his time of living, it's just the way that he continues to persevere and has like a crazily idealistic look on life. Like he's very optimistic despite every single thing that he's been through, and I think that's why he keeps fucking around and finding out, because he just doesn't take no for an answer. He will literally do something if you tell him he shouldn't, because he just likes to rebel. That's his character in a nutshell. And I don't know, reading about it is just really fun, especially because since these are vampires who live forever, they don't really take consequences as actual consequences. Like, yeah, they might get hurt, they might have to pay for what they do in some way, shape, or form, but they are going to live through it. And I think Lestat embodies that aspect of vampirism so much as a character. Yes, he will go through something traumatic and terrible, but he'll be like bouncing back a day or two later. Like that's just who he is. These books connect in a way I wasn't really expecting. So like the first book, Interview with the Vampire, low-key could be read as a standalone, but like if you go into the rest of the books in the Vampire Chronicles, they all very much connect in a way where it does feel like a series. Like the Vampire Lestat is technically a continuation of Interview with the Vampire, but you could also count it as a prequel because the majority of this book does take place in the past. And then Queen of the Damned takes place in present time after the events of Interview with the Vampire. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. It depends on where the show takes it, because I don't know how the show is gonna get split up. I know that the first 2 seasons of the show followed the first book, so maybe they're gonna dedicate 2 seasons to the Vampire Lestat book. I don't know. The timelines are very woven into together, especially in the Vampire Lestat book, so I guess I'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know what I would rate this book. I think because I spent a full month basically reading this, I think I really just need to like take it in for what it is and sit on it for a bit. But yeah, I'll think about that more later when I put my review on Storygraph. Now though, we need to get down to what I will be reading next, okay? Because I have options, many options. So yeah, let's go upstairs, let's figure that out, and then we will continue on with this vlog. All right, so these are all the books I have to choose from, and there are more. The bottom shelf is fine. These are books that you guys know I've already read, but these like top 4 shelves are what we're going to choose from today. I'm not going to lie to you, I do feel like I'm in the mood to read like a romance book. I feel like I haven't read a romance in really long, and I think it's a good palate cleanser for what I experienced with the Vampire Lestat, okay? So I'm looking mostly at my romantasy shelf. Maybe contemporary romance could be the vibe. I don't know. I'm not looking to read anything too long since this is a 12-hour readathon. So maybe I think it's time that I finally crack open That Time I Got Drunk and Needed a Love Potion at a Werewolf by Kimberly Lemming. This is the second book in the Mead. The first book in this series was That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, I think was the name of it. And I've been wanting to continue the series for the past few years since I started it. I think I started it all the way back in 2024, I want to say. And I got this book a few months ago. If you guys remember the reading vlog that I did with DJ, or not reading vlog, the bookstore vlog, whatever. I did pick this up because I wanted to continue the series. And you guys know me and my goal of finishing series this year. Have I been consistent with that? No, but is this a step in the right direction? Yes, I think I can start this and finish it today. It's not that long, as you guys can see. I think it's a trilogy of books, and they're not meant to be long at all. Like, I think this one it's around 250. I think I could do this in a day. Like I said, I just need something light and fun. I feel like I haven't read anything light and fun recently, and that I feel like is not helping my reading slump, if I'm being honest. So I think it is now time to read this bad boy. I have a little over 9 hours left of reading until the timer is up. So let's see how much I can read of this and if I could finish it today. It would be cool if I could read a book in one sitting. That could be really nice. I don't know. I don't want to push my luck, but we're off to a good start.
A few moments later.
Guys, I kid you not, as soon as I start reading this book, I get a text reminding me that I do have plans today. They're not until like 4:30, 5 o'clock-ish. It's not even noon yet, so we still do have time to do this challenge. I think I've just decided that when I am out of the house doing what I need to do, I will be pausing my timer for today, and then when I get back home I will continue it. I'm just letting you guys know in advance. Yeah, I got that text before I even like made it 2 pages into this book, so just wanted to let you guys know. Expect later for there to be like probably a brief jump, but you don't have to worry about that now. We got a little bit of time until then. I will continue reading the book. Alright, I did end up taking down my hair because I had to go to the store, because I realized the reason why I'm feeling like so out of it so far is because I didn't drink any coffee because we don't have any at the house. So I went to the store to go get coffee, which is why my hair is down and out of a bonnet. But also because I have plans later, it was bound to get out of the bonnet anyway, so might as well should just unleash it. Now that I have my coffee, good, great coffee, we can actually get started into this video officially. Like, yes, I've been reading, but like I've been not actually in it. I'm in it now. I'm gonna get caffeinated. Before I went to the store though, I left off on chapter 2 of the book. I don't really know what I can tell you guys about this book without literally just restating the title of it. What you see with the title is what you get. The main character, Bree, accidentally eats a love potion onto a werewolf, making him think that she is his mate. And it lasts temporarily for like 2 weeks, but for the next 2 weeks she has to like kind of distance herself from him. I think Kimberly Lemming is one of the funniest authors ever, because I don't know how she comes up with these situations. Like, they're actually so outlandish, but in a way where I can laugh. Like, yes, it's ridiculous, but between like just the way that she writes her characters and the banter that they have, I usually as in like the one time I read her books, I have had good times with the one book I read by her before. Anyway, I need coffee. Yeah, the first chapter was like 20 pages though, and it kind of set everything up perfectly. Like, everything having to do with like the premise of the book happened within the first chapter. While I was driving to the store though, I was reading my audiobook, so I did not stop the timer, okay, because I feel like that still counts as reading. I'm 72% into The Heirs as of right now. Yeah, I have nothing more to add with that book, if I'm being honest. Like, I really do think it falls flat in terms of like getting to understand the characters and their motives as to why they would want to hurt their father. Obvious reasons aside, like obviously they would want to hurt him because of their upbringing and how they were raised to be prodigies and nothing other than prodigies for their father's experiments. That's reasoning enough, but to figure out why one of them specifically would is what I'm failing to understand. Like, they all have motive, but why would one specific kid in this house do it? And if I'm being honest, I don't think any of the kids did it. I'm trying to figure out who. I have my suspicions, but I don't want to say anything in case I'm right. Like, honestly, everyone a part of this group just seems too obvious to me. I feel like it'd be too cliche to say that the butler did it, but I feel like his motive makes the most sense to me. I'm not going to give too much away in case you want to read it, so I'm not going to spoil as to why I think this or feel this way. Butler did it, or one of the kids' boyfriends, I feel like. But like I said, let me not speak too soon. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to the physical book I was reading before. Yeah, I still got a few hours to kill before I leave, so I am gonna try to lock in now that I have my coffee. Good, great start to the video finally, as we're like probably already 20 minutes into it, but whatever. Let's go. Okay, I am 100 pages into this. I'm on chapter 6. This book is ridiculous, but you know what? It is exactly what I needed. Ridiculous, fun, silly, like a perfect palate cleanser book. Kimberly Lemming, you have yet to fail me. This is a 2 for 2 right now, at least so far. Like I said, I'm only 100 pages in, but that's basically like almost halfway into the book. So these are interconnected standalones, so you don't need to read the other ones to understand what's going on. But whenever the world building that we got in the first book is brought up in this book, I'm very lost, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I remembered the basics of the first book, but I don't remember anything. And it's not really important. It should be though. I don't want to say anything in case you want to read the first book in the series, but like there's a lot. There's a lot that I feel like I should have gotten a recap on before starting this, because when they bring it up, I'm like, when did that happen? But that's neither here nor there, because again, it's not really that important to like the plot of this book. The first book was more of an adventure book of like the two main characters going on a journey to basically save the world. This one is set in their home village. Neither of them are really traveling all that much. The two love interests in this book are just determined to get through the next 2 weeks of forced proximity and sexual tension, and it's really funny. It's really good. I just got through a very smutty scene with tentacles, and I know what you're thinking. Isn't this a werewolf romance? Yes. I was not expecting tentacles either. Took me very off guard, but I got used to it immediately once like the scene kept going. Yeah, the way that Kimberly Lemming writes Spice, it's good. It's fun. I still think that like the banter in this book is definitely like the selling point of it, because Bree, the girl who accidentally threw a love potion onto her possible mate Felix, she's like very iffy about sleeping with him because that's like dubious consent. She's like, you are literally under a love spell that I accidentally gave you. I don't want to sleep with you. But she's like, if it's the only way to break the curse, we're gonna have to do it. She tried every other method, and this guy still says that he is very much in love with her. He's like, no, you are my mate. Like, I'm not even trying to kid. You are meant for me. And she's like, okay, bro, chill, chill, chill. He's already talking about like, how many kids do you want? And she's like, I just got through like the first smut scene and it was fun. Did I expect the first smut scene to have tentacles? No, but like we're vibing. Like I said, I'm almost like halfway into this book already. This is a very short book, so I assume I will get done with this before the end of the day. A little under 6 hours left before this challenge is done, but again, I will have to leave in a few hours, so I will have to put a stop to that timer, a pause on it, if you will. But I'm gonna try to get as far as I can within the next hour before I need to start getting ready to head out. But yeah, this is such a good fun time. I really do think like books like these, like the silly romantasy books, paranormal romance books, whatever you want to call this genre, they're such good palate cleansers for people that do enjoy this genre of book. Like if you read like something very heavy, something like this will get you right back into like a reading mood, which is good for me because you guys know I haven't really been in that mood at all. Yeah, I think that this was definitely a good choice, but I'm going to continue reading. I also need to get my clothes out the dryer because I am doing laundry right now, so I have nothing but good things to say so far about this. I really just like the dynamic of like golden retriever boyfriend, grumpy girlfriend. Like you guys know this, that's like my favorite dynamic when it comes to like the romance books that I read between like a man and a woman. It's very fun for me when like the girl is giving very much standoffish, leave me alone energy, and the guy is giving like, no, I want you bad, please, I will do anything for you. Like that whole thing, it just like sends me, I love it so much. So that plus like how funny the book is really winning me over. So yeah, I can see myself giving this a high rating by the time I'm done, but we're just gonna have to see. I don't know.
Later.
All right, hello everyone. I am back home from my outing and it is like 8 o'clock. It is around the time when this challenge should be over, but because I delayed the challenge a bit because I accidentally set the timer at the beginning to 12 minutes instead of 12 hours, and then for all the times I've been pausing throughout the day, I still have 3 hours and 5 minutes left of this challenge. I will say I'm almost done with that time I got drunk and yeeted a love potion at a werewolf. I'm so close to finishing this that I know I'm gonna be able to finish it within the 3 hours. After I'm done, we can choose something else, but I'm not going to lie. Since we're getting to the point where it's like about to be nighttime and I ate a lot of food while I was out, so I know I'm gonna feel sleepy, I don't know if I'll be able to read for like the next 3 hours. I also kind of want to go to bed early because I have work tomorrow. So this might be extended into tomorrow. which was not the plan. I'm doing the best with what I got, okay? And I don't want to cheat, because here's the thing, Love Island also comes on in 30 minutes. All the odds are stacked against me right now, guys. That being said, I will be reading for the next 30 minutes until Love Island, and then we can pick up after I finish watching tonight's episode. I'm gonna try to get through the next 3 hours tonight, because I really don't want this to drag out tomorrow, but if it does, it does, because I'm committed to the bit at this point. I'll tell you guys my thoughts when I'm done with the book, but so far it's really surprising me on like the commentary that it has in it. Though, like I say, this is a very unserious, funny book. The commentary in it is very interesting, especially for today's day and age. So yeah, I'll explain that more when I'm done, but that's the update. I'm gonna get back to reading. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, guys, it is the next day. I know you're probably like, Marina, why do you have your bonnet on? Did you go to work? No, I did not. No, I did not. I wasn't feeling it today. I slept in some much needed rest, if I'm being honest. And yeah, I skipped out on work today. It's now noon. So like when I say much needed rest, I'm serious. I just woke up. It's noon. We still have like 2 hours and 18 minutes left of this challenge, and we're gonna finish it the next day because I make the rules here, okay? A 12-hour readathon extending into 2 days, only I would be able to do that. Really, there's really no excuse for it. But before we continue, I did end up finishing that time I got drunk and needed a love potion at a werewolf. I finished it in the middle of watching Love Island last night, in between ad breaks, because that's how little I had left of it. Like, I could easily finish it before the episode was over. I have no words for how ridiculous the story is, just from the title alone. I keep saying this, but like, if you look at the title, you already know what you're getting into. Like, nothing about this book is really serious in any regard. Like, from the romance to the characters, like, you have this magical fantasy land where there are humans, there are orcs, there are werewolves, there are dragons, there are talking swords. Like, there is like a lot happening here. And again, the book isn't that long. The world building does a lot of the heavy lifting, but even then, sometimes with the world building, I'm like, does that make sense? I don't think it does, but you can't think about it too much. One of those books that I really feel like you do need to go in with head empty, just fun vibes, and that's what I really wanted. So it got me in the mood to continue reading some more. That's what I needed, that's what I wanted. Thank you, Kimberly Lemming. There's like a little bit of commentary on like red pill culture towards the end of the book, which I was not expecting, but fit kind of perfectly within like the plot. Can't go into specifics without spoiling the twist near the end, but like when it got to that point, I was like, oh, okay, we're actually eating here. I had no idea this is what we were doing. Grass is getting mowed, my fan is blowing. I feel like if you guys can't hear me, that really sucks. But yeah, like when it started getting to that part of the book and talking about it, I was like, oh, even in the fantasy world, even in a made-up world, we're still having to deal with incel men. Ooh, that's annoying. But I really liked it. I liked that part of the book. I honestly liked all of it. You guys know I'm not really into the insta-love trope of romance, and that's really what it was giving, because like I said, love potion that this werewolf got thrown at him only lasted for like 2 weeks, and so 2 weeks of basically falling in love with someone, not my cup of tea. But every time Kimberly Lemming writes two love interests, I've noticed that I can make exceptions because her characters are funny, they're adorable, they're quirky a little bit, but like not in an annoying way, at least not to me. I might just be biased because they're black. Like, come on. And also these covers, like this cover is gorgeous. So is the first book's cover. I really like the updated versions of these covers because I know that like a lot of people prefer the older covers. I don't know, I think these are so beautiful. Finished it in 12 hours, which is something I wanted to do. I wanted to finish at least one book in this readathon, and that's what I did. I'm going to put this away, and then I'm going to tell you guys about the next books that I'm considering for the next 2 hours that I have left of this readathon. Let's do this. I picked 2 books that I feel like I could probably finish in 2 hours because I just think it would be satisfying to finish in total like 3 books in this vlog. Okay, sue me, that's what I want to do. So these are both fairly short, like they're pretty much novella length books, and they're both very different from each other. Auditions for the Fox by Martin Cahill. I don't know anything about this, if I'm being honest. All I have heard is that it's really good. I got it from a sales representative of one of the publishers that visit my job, and she was like, it's one of my favorite fantasies I read last year. I would really love it if he even continued it into a series because the world is so expansive and da. And I was like, okay, let me take that home with me, because she was just giving out copies for free. I was like, let me take that. But I really don't know what it's about. I know it has to do with like a trickster spirit, aka the fox. I think there's time traveling involved and gods and stuff. Could be a good time. Very short. I don't even think it's like a full 200 pages, so doable. But then I decided that I could also read Both Slash and by Den Michelle Norris. This is an arc of a book that came out back in August 2025. I'm really good at reading my arcs on time, guys, can't you tell? Essays by trans and gender non-conforming writers of color. I think since it's Pride Month, it's a little ridiculous of me to not have read any queer books this month. Granted, I read queer books year round, but something about not reading one during June, ridiculous on my part. I can't lie. Like, I feel like, especially like while we're getting towards the end of the month, I still haven't read one. I feel like the pressure, the heat is on. So I'm leaning towards this. Also, it just sounds really interesting. I don't remember the last time I read a collection of essays, if I'm being honest. So this could like put a good spin on my reading mood if I end up enjoying it, because then I could pick up a little of the memoirs that I do own after reading this. I don't know. Both of these sound really good to me. Let's look at page count. This is 216. This is 176. So I think I'm gonna go with this one simply because it is shorter and I feel like it is doable to read this in 2 hours time. But that doesn't mean I probably won't be getting to this before the end of the month. I hope I can, because it does sound really interesting to me. But I have a goal of finishing 3 books in one vlog. What can I say? I'm very greedy, guys. That being said, Auditions for the Fox by Martin Cahill is going to be the book that I choose to read and end off this vlog. Yeah, it also has a blurb from N.K. Jemisin, so I'm trusting that this is going to be a good time. Let's get started. Alright, I am this far into Audition for the Fox. It's like 40 pages in. I paused the timer because I really want to talk to you guys about what I think so far. This book is very interesting. So we are in a world in this book where society worships these 99 pillars, aka these 99 gods. These 99 gods who basically keep the world afloat. But in order for someone to live in this society, they have to either sign up to be an acolyte of one of the gods or choose a different path. One of the paths being a teacher, or going to a temple to basically get whatever you want, like worship the gods but not be an acolyte that holds their power. And we're following one character in this book. Her name is Nessie, and she has auditioned for 96 of the pillars and she has failed every single audition, which leaves her with 3 options, one of them being the fox. And she is like, I'm very desperate to be good at anything. I need to be accepted as an acolyte by one of these gods, or else I don't know what I'm gonna do. She has her best friend Ren, who is an authoritative, he's a teacher basically, and she knows that she doesn't want to be that. She's like, I can't be like you. You've wanted to be a teacher your whole life. You know what you want. I know what I want, and it's freedom, but you can't have freedom in this world basically. Like, you either have the acolyte job, the teacher job, or living in a temple the rest of your life. And all Nessie wants is to have freedom, but that doesn't exist. So now she needs to figure out what she is good at, and so far she's realized that she's not good at or good enough to be an acolyte to 96 of the gods, which is how she ends up desperate enough to audition for the trickster god. Now the trickster god is willing to give her an audition, but her audition is taking place like 300 years in the past to basically start the revolution that changed their world forever. She's like, I didn't sign up for that. Please take me back to the present time. And the fox is like, no, you wanted the audition. I didn't force you to be here. Like, I'm a trickster, but I'm not that good. You asked for the audition. This is the audition. Good luck. This is what you need to do. And so she set off to do it. This is her audition. And if she passes, then she can become an acolyte If she fails, then she still has 2 more pillars that she can audition for, but she knows that her chances of passing those are very low, which is why she wants the fox out of desperation. So yeah, it's a very interesting world. The book is so short though. I don't know how this would wrap up in a way that's like satisfying, because I feel like although like there's a lot of depth and detail with the way that like the story is being told, and again like the world building of it all, I don't know how it could close out in a way where I just feel like I'm gonna get everything I want from this. Granted, it's been a while since I've read a novella, and I do tend to like novellas, especially in like the fantasy genre. They're very quick, easy, short, but they usually leave a big impact. So I'm hoping that this can do that for me. I just wanted to tell you guys that like so far I'm really enjoying this. 1 hour and 32 minutes left. So do I think I'm gonna finish this in 1 hour and 32 minutes? I don't know. I don't know. Even if I don't finish this in the next 2 hours before the challenge, I can definitely see myself finishing this before the end of the day, because I'm so interested in where this is going to go. Yeah, I will update you guys later if I have something to say. Okay guys, this is how far I'm into the book now that the 12 hours are finally complete. I'm on page 119, 50 pages left of the book, so I didn't finish it, but I made a big enough dent in it where I feel satisfied. Also, I'm sorry if you hear noises. My family is being loud. I'm gonna make this outro quick because I'm sure the audio is a little bit funky. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I am seriously enjoying this so much. I agree with the sales representative that gave this to me. I kind of wish that this was its own little series of novellas. As far as I know, this is just a standalone based off of all of like the mini stories that are getting told in between Nessie's story of her audition for the fox. I feel like this world is so expansive that we could, like, I don't know, make a book for each of the gods, or a continued story for the fox and his previous auditions. He's just such a wise, or they, I should say. The fox uses the pronouns they, them, but the other animals use the pronouns she, he, so I guess it just depends. But the fox, they are very wise in the lessons that they teach through their auditions, and not even just like to humans, but to their siblings, the other pillars, these other gods that humans worship. In these like tiny stories that are told in between the overarching story, you see that the fox is always duking it out with one of their siblings. You see that the fox has all of this knowledge that they just want to give, and their siblings are sometimes not always receptive to it, but they continue to give so many chances to their siblings to be better gods for the humans that worship them. And in those lessons that the gods learn, they do give back to the humans, and it's all because of the fox spirit, so it seems. I think if the author wanted to really make more books in this world, they definitely could, just with the fox spirit alone. Sidon, I think that's how you pronounce the fox spirit's name. Sidon is just like one of those characters that I am quickly falling in love with. Obviously, they're a trickster god. They are mischievous. They definitely have a trick or two up their sleeve constantly, to the point where you don't know if you can fully trust them, but their intentions are always good. And I think a character like this being like a part of the story just makes it more fun to read. I'm really enjoying Nessie's journey of figuring out her own self-worth through the audition that she is currently in, figuring out what her purpose in life is. And I am not finished with it, so obviously I don't really know what the outcome of this audition is going to be for her, but I can tell that like this whole entire book is just basically about like not giving up on yourself. Just because you're not like everyone else does not mean that there's not something special about you. Follow your own status quo, basically, is what I'm gathering from this book and the message of it. And it's just really cute, fun, lighthearted. I definitely think I will be finishing this before the end of the day. I think that this might be honestly one of the highlights of my month, which I was not expecting, but I am happy about. Yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed this, thank you so much. I know that this was a doozy. This is not your typical 12-hour readathon video, but it did end up getting finished, and that's all that matters, okay? If you would like to follow me on my social media, they will all be linked down in the description below. I think that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.